It's been a long day and life's getting you down. Just sit with a puzzle and turn it around. Piece by piece, piece by piece puzzler.
Hi Puzzle fam, this is Richard, aka Piece by Piece Puzzler, and I want to welcome you back for what is now week 5 of the Week in Pieces. So in my last video, I actually mentioned to you that it was going to be a little bit longer before you got another Week in Pieces video, but it turned out that I got a lot of puzzling done in the last week and a half, so I decided to make another video because I've been really enjoying kind of keeping the puzzles put together so that I can show them to you on these videos, but I actually wanted to clear out a lot of the puzzles that I have on these foam core boards. So making this video is actually just a really efficient way for me to tell you a little bit more about all of these puzzles that I've done, but also have a chance now to clear them out so that I can start doing some more puzzles, which I will also be showing to you on this channel. So without further ado, I won't make this intro too long. I want to get right into the puzzles I've done. So this week I have 5 completed puzzles to show you. The first one is this one. It's by Ravensburger and it's called Enchanted Brew, and it has artwork by the artist Ivy Dolomore. And I really enjoyed this one. It's only a 300-piece puzzle, and it's technically, I believe, a children's puzzle, but I just really enjoyed the image. It's of a group of witches who are meeting, and they're having tea, and they're having crumpets, and somebody is buying some tea out of what appears to be sort of like a tea food truck. And I just kind of am imagining what all of these witches and fairies are talking about around this table, and it just kind of makes me happy. So I really enjoyed this one. I did it as sort of a puzzle snack between some larger puzzles, and this was really the first one that I completed since the last Week in Pieces video. So I just really liked this one, and I loved the artwork. I really hope that Ivy Dolomore has other puzzles of her paintings that come out, because it's just really nice. The line work in the puzzle was very crisp, and there were a lot of sort of like distinct lines between items and objects, which I always really appreciate in a puzzle. I like, when you can sort of pick out where everything goes pretty easily within the image. So really enjoyed this one. Really enjoyed the artwork, as I said, and I don't have any negative comments about it. So next up was a wooden puzzle that I did, and I did this for the Super Bowl. And this one is called American Football, and it's by the brand BART Games. I've talked about them on a few of my recent Week in Pieces videos because they very kindly, around the end of last year, gifted me a number of their wooden puzzles to try. So this is one where the image is one that I never ever would have chosen for myself. I'm really not a sports person. And I like the image well enough, but it's really just not something that I would have chosen off of their website, for example. But once they sent this to me, I was sort of wondering to myself, when do I have an occasion to do this, when it would be most impactful? And I decided to do it in honor of the Super Bowl that was happening last weekend. So I put this one together. It actually was a lot more fun than I was expecting. And one thing I will also note is within the puzzle, there's kind of a little bit of color line cutting, as they call it in wooden puzzles, where the different sections are sort of, if you can see the way that this detaches, there's a bit of a separation between the colors in terms of the cut of the puzzle. And I haven't really done many puzzles with that style, so I did enjoy trying that out and kind of enjoying figuring out how that would change the challenge of this puzzle. So ultimately, even though I wouldn't have chosen this puzzle for myself to do, I really liked it, and I would recommend it to somebody if you are a football fan and you're looking for a wooden puzzle. I think that there's not a ton of overlap between wooden puzzlers and football fans, but hey, I'm sure that there are some folks out there. They also, I believe, have a baseball puzzle, and they may have some others on there as well that are themed after different sports. So if you take a look at BART Games' website, you can see all the other offerings they have, including the other sports puzzles. So next up is this really beautiful puzzle. It's called Love, and it's by the company Dr. Puzzle. This company has been around for a while. I believe they're a Russian-based company, or at least they have some Russian-inspired artwork. However, they're recently branching out into the United States and they have operations here as well. And they've sent me three different of their, and they, so they've sent me three of their puzzles to try, and one of them that they sent me was called Love. And what it is obviously it's a big heart, and it has this floral imagery as well as this central heart, and two birds, I think they're bluebirds, that have keys. One of the keys says fate, the other one doesn't have any writing on it. But I will also show you on the screen what the backside of this puzzle looks like. It had a very, very intricate back. And in addition to the whimsy cut of the pieces, there are also some additional kind of wooden etchings that are happening on the backside of the puzzle that sort of add an extra story. For example, there is an image of a young couple. There's an image of a couple with a baby. There's an image of a couple who are in a rocking chair, sort of in their older years. So this one is just sort of celebrating love in its various stages, which I really enjoyed and appreciated. And in the haul section of this video a little bit later, I'll show you the other puzzles that Dr. Puzzle sent me. I haven't done those yet, but I'm really looking forward to them, especially since I thought this one was very high quality. So the next puzzle that I did is this one. It's called La Chablisienne. And obviously it's a vintage liquor advertisement. And this is by the company Victory Puzzles. Victory Puzzles started around 1920, and at a certain point, the company disbanded, and some new owners have recently revived the company, and they are hoping to reestablish it as a great wooden puzzle brand. So I've been really excited and looking forward to trying out their designs, and I ordered two of them. I will show you the other one in the puzzle haul section of the video. And I put this one together first. I put it together very soon after I received the package in the mail. And while I really enjoyed the cut of the puzzle and the image, the cut is very angular. It has a lot of sort of diamond-shaped puzzle pieces. So the orientation is like the lines of the puzzle cut go sort of diagonally across in both directions. However, I did have some quality control issues with the puzzle in the darker section especially, but also in some other sections of the puzzle. There are a lot of little dings on the corners of the pieces, and especially in the dark black section of the puzzle, they really stand out, and it did kind of take away from the experience somewhat for me. Fortunately, there was a sale, so I did get a bit of a discount on this puzzle, but I was still disappointed in the quality of it, even for the price. This one was around the $50 US mark. And for that price, I really would expect that the puzzle pieces are all cut cleanly and there aren't any noticeable dings like that. Like there are some corners of the pieces where there's even sort of a little bit of wood that seems to be picking up from the piece. So that was a bit disappointing. And also when I dumped the pieces out, there were quite a bit of little wooden specks that were kind of like extra pieces of puzzle piece. And they're actually still kind of on the board now as I'm showing it to you. So I really enjoyed this puzzle image. I think it's beautiful, and I'm not necessarily saying I wouldn't try another Victory puzzle, but I would just note that there were some issues with this one. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to trying the next one. The next one that I got is called Life. I think that's what it's called. No, it's called The Flapper. And once I do that one, I will also report back as to the quality of that puzzle. So the final puzzle to show you is this one. It's called Rooster Magic. And this one, it's quite large actually, so I can't show you the whole thing in the frame, but I will also be showing you an image of it on the screen. This one is from Cobble Puzzles, and the artwork is by Rosalind Solomon. And Rosalind Solomon does a lot of different nature-themed puzzles where it features her artwork and a lot of these circular sections within the puzzle that kind of feature different scenes related to the theme of the puzzle. I really, really enjoyed this one. I do enjoy the texture of Cobble Hill pieces. They have a blue board cardboard backing, and the front has sort of a linen texture. And the cut is sort of interesting because it's not a standard grid cut. I think it's technically considered sort of an irregular piece cut. However, it's not in a completely willy-nilly grid like a La Puz, for example, or even Springbok. but it's sort of like a little bit out of alignment so that it gives a bit of interest to the puzzling experience, but it's not completely outside of the box for somebody who does kind of like a standard grid cut puzzle. So this one was actually sent to me very kindly by Puzzle Warehouse, and I am, as I've mentioned on a previous video, an ambassador for them. So this one actually ties into a post that I will be writing very shortly. So now that I've shown you all the puzzles that I've done in the last week and a few days, I will get into the puzzle haul section of the video. Okay, so now that we're in the puzzle haul section of this video, I do have to explain one thing, which is that in the last Week in Pieces episode, I said, oh my gosh, I really need to cut down on buying puzzles and slow down on bringing a lot more into my collection. However, at that point, I still had a number of puzzles that were either on order or that were being sent to me by various companies. So what I'll say is from here on out, I think it's going to get a little bit slower, but this is actually sort of an unusually large haul video. And this just goes to show you exactly why the slowdown is necessary, because my puzzling room is getting really chock full of puzzles. It's becoming almost unmanageable, and I can't really keep bringing in as many as this. So I better get puzzling very fast so that I can move some of these on to other folks. So here we go. I'm going to go through and do it slightly in sections. Usually I've started with the vintage puzzles that I brought into my collection, so I'll do that again. And this time there's only one of those to show you. It's this really weird puzzle. It's called Still Life number 24. And it looks like it is by Tom Wesselman. This is actually a painting, even though it sort of looks like it's a photograph. And as you can see, it almost looks like an old advertisement. It has like a cigarette box, it has Italian dressing, it has Del Monte green beans, an ear of corn. It's really sort of strange looking. When I saw this, I actually thought of La Paz, because they have kind of like an odd twist on sort of classic imagery. So I don't know, this one was pretty cheap on eBay, and I thought it looked cool, and I also like that it has a lot of writing in the puzzle, which I always enjoy. So you know what, I picked it up. It's a little strange, but if there's ever another sort of creepypasta puzzle along, I'll have to pull this one out and do this one, because you know it transfixes me in an odd way. So next up is my new Anthology wooden subscription puzzle. And we're not quite at the point in the month where I can show you the image, and I haven't actually done this one myself. So just to show you that I did get my monthly puzzle from Anthology, and I'm looking forward to putting that one together. So next up are a couple of puzzles that were sent to me by the brand Dr. Puzzle, which I mentioned to you in the earlier portion of this video. They were the ones who made that beautiful heart-shaped love puzzle. So this one is called Ivan Zarovich and the Grey Wolf, and the artwork is by Stepan Gilev. And this one is called A Lady in a Lilac Dress, and the artwork for this one is by Vladislav Tchaikovsky. I think I said that correctly. And these ones I'm really, really excited to do. One other cool thing that I didn't mention about Dr. Puzzle in the first part of this video is that each one of their puzzles comes with a small candle inside the package, which is just a really nice touch. I haven't burnt one of them yet. I haven't lit one of them yet, I should say, because when I did the love puzzle, I just wasn't really in the mood to be lighting a candle. But I am going to try it out with these puzzles, and I'll let you know my thoughts either here or on Instagram once I have done that. So these ones were kindly gifted to me by Dr. Puzzle so that I could give them a try. So thank you to Dr. Puzzle. I can say after trying the love one that I heartily recommend these. They're really beautiful. I mean, obviously I haven't done this specific one, but their quality is really, really good. The box is really nice. The candle is a nice touch. And they have also kindly given me a discount code that I can share with my subscribers and my followers, which is just Piece by Piece Puzzler. So if you go to their website, I think it's dr-puzzle.com, and you put in the code Piece by Piece Puzzler, you can get 10% off your order if you also want to try these puzzles. So next up is a somewhat sad portion of this video, which is that the company 4 Point Puzzles, which you may know because they did a lot of planetary puzzles, ones that were circular shaped puzzles of different planets or the moon. They also did Earth, and I believe they did Mars, and they've also done a 2,000 piece set of the planets. They have announced recently that they're going out of business, so they had a really great sale where all of their puzzles were up to about 70% off. So the more puzzles you ordered, the more of a discount you got. I believe the sale is now over because their online sales have ended now, but I was able to get a number of puzzles from them, and I'll show you those now. I got this one, which is called Several Found Things, which I've actually had my eye on for quite a while now. I like all the different textures on here. And there's also some writing and some words, which of course I love in puzzles, as you probably know by now. There is this one, which is called Dots. This is pretty simple. Not necessarily one that I would probably have chosen if it wasn't on sale, but I do think it's cool. I like it as an image. It's sort of like it makes me think of a sort of like modernist design. So that's that one. I picked up their puzzle of the Earth, which is of course sort of one of their signature puzzles. And there's that. And I picked up this one, which is called Fade. And recently I saw Jigsaw Juby do this puzzle on her channel, and it looked really beautiful. So I'm looking forward to this one. It's sort of an unconventional gradient puzzle. This part kind of reminds me of like a cheese curl. So I don't know, it seems kind of fun to me. And then this one is called Tangled. I think it's just called Tangled. And this is really nice. It's just, different lines, different colored lines. You can probably sort by what color is in the pieces and put it together that way. So because of the crazy discount on these puzzles, I picked up 5 of them, and I think that got me 70% off the list price. But I'm not sure how quickly I'm going to get to all of these, so I may at some point decide to regift some of them or donate them. But I just couldn't resist the crazy sale. I think I got all of these for like about $40, which is a pretty crazy price considering the original list price. So I'm looking forward to trying these out. I've previously bought the planets set, which is all of the planets in one 2,000 piece bag. You can sort them out and do each of the planets, but I haven't gotten around to doing that one yet. I think it's a slightly bigger project and one that I would love to show in a future video. So if that's something that you would like to see, I would love to hear from you in the comments if you want to see me put together all of the planets as one puzzle project. So as you can probably see, I'm sort of moving around the puzzles in the background as I go through these and show them to you. The next couple that I'm showing you are ones that I got online or from local shops. And this one is really beautiful. It's called Dutch Welfare State, and it's by the artist Mouse Bolhorst. And this is from the brand Trefl. And I have actually not tried a Trefl puzzle yet, but this one, it's a 500 piece puzzle. It's from their line called Trefl Prime. And I saw this one posted online on a Facebook group that I'm in for Ravensburger puzzles. And it's interesting. It's part of, I think, a set of 6 different puzzles by different artists. And on the back, it explains to you that if you take off the edges of the puzzle, they actually connect to one another. So because the images look quite different from each other, I'm not really sure why you would want to do that exactly for display purposes, but it is kind of an interesting novelty. And the other interesting thing, and the reason I wanted to try this puzzle out, is because it says it has velvet soft touch pieces. So while I haven't done this one yet, I did bust open the bag and check the pieces, and yes, they actually are somewhat velvety, very similar in feel to the Art and Fable pieces. However, I will say that this doesn't include a print of the artwork. It doesn't include a reusable bag or the box top stand. And obviously the artwork is quite different from the style of Art and Fable. So I don't consider this really in direct competition with them, but I did think it was interesting that a different company was putting out the Velvet Soft Touch label. And I wonder if it's the same manufacturer. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm going to be looking into that, but I am just kind of curious. But this one, I love the image. It's really interesting and unique, and I love the illustration style. So I'm looking forward to doing this one. I think this is going to be one of the next ones that I do, because I think I can probably do it in just one sitting. So here is one that I got from a local bookshop here in my neighborhood, and this is called the Minifigure Rainbow. So I'm saving this one really for Puzzle Pride Along, which is going to be taking place again in June of this year. But I really just enjoyed this one. I thought it looked really easy. I'm sure I can just sort it by the background color, and it should be pretty easy to go through and know exactly where all the pieces go. And I just thought this one was fun. Towards the beginning of my puzzling, I did a different Lego puzzle. It was of different minifigures, but it didn't have this kind of background. I liked it, but I thought the quality was sort of in the middle range. Some of the pieces were peeling up. So it's been a while since I've tried a Lego puzzle, but I would like to give them another shot. I think the images are really fun. I'm going to be trying this one out, and then I'll report back to you as to whether the quality is top notch. And I'll say the manufacturer of this appears to be Chronicle Books. I do really love their mini puzzles, even though I had an issue with one of their other larger puzzles. So I'm looking forward to seeing if the quality of these now has anything to do with or correlation with the smaller puzzles that I've done and really enjoyed over the last year or so. So I've also really been wanting to try this puzzle company. They're called Laurence King Publishing. And I've actually never done one of their puzzles before, but they have a lot of different puzzles that are in the kind of World of series. So this one is called the World of Frankenstein. They also have the World of the Tudors, the World of Surrealism, the World of Shakespeare, the World of Sherlock Holmes, the World of a whole bunch of other different world ofs. This one has this really cool illustration that is by Adam Simpson, and it just shows different scenes from Frankenstein. I've actually never read the original book, so I may take this opportunity to also read the book. I have a copy of it here, but I'm looking forward to trying this one out. I love a puzzle that's jam-packed with details, and I think that's a really cool aspect of this one. And I just really have been wanting to try this brand and try out this series. One of my puzzle friends is a really big fan of these, so I'm looking forward to comparing notes and to seeing if I enjoy it as much. And one thing I will also note about these Laurence King puzzles, I have heard through the grapevine that they are manufactured by two different countries. There are some that are manufactured in China and some that are manufactured in the Netherlands. So I've been quite cautious about trying out this brand because I've heard that the ones that are made in the Netherlands are really very high quality, but the ones that are made in China are not as good. So this one I was able to check on the box in the store. In the bottom corner, it says that it was manufactured in the Netherlands, so you are able to check on the box. So if it's something that is a concern to you or that you would really like to try to find the Netherlands version, just be aware that you may want to look for them actually in a physical store, because if you order it online, it's probably going to be a lot harder to know which version you're getting. I'm not sure if all of the product display images online are going to show that, or if they do, it may not correspond with what you actually get. So just something worth mentioning, I think, with this puzzle. And once I do this, I'm sure I will be posting this over on my Instagram. So next up are two puzzles by the brand Mintyfizz. So Kelly, who runs this company, recently had a birthday. And shortly before that, this little puzzle, which is called Melded Blooms, was on sale on Amazon. So this one I got for, I want to say, about $14 on Amazon. This is a 500-piece puzzle. And if you remember, I did last year a different puzzle by Mintyfizz. I'm blanking on the name, Stained Windows. It was called Stained Windows, and I really loved it. It was my very first Mintyfizz puzzle after following the Mintyfizz account for quite a long time, and I was an immediate convert. And Kelly was kind enough to send me actually two other puzzles, which are 1,000 pieces, which I haven't gotten around to doing yet because they seem like they're going to take me a little bit of time. So I really want to be in a very kind of calm state of mind when I try them. But this one popped up on Amazon for a great price, and I decided to invest in this one. I also want to do this one soon, if at all possible, because I just think it's going to be a really, really great one to do. And I also know the Mintyfizz quality is excellent, so I'm not going to be disappointed in that regard. So also on Kelly's actual birthday, she had a really great sale. I think it was 40% off. It's over now, unfortunately. And I was able to snag this puzzle, which is quite difficult looking. It's called Sunset Tiles. This is the full image. And it's kind of a dark colored gradient. And it's between this kind of burnt blue and the bright blue and this kind of burnt orange. And I just have really been enjoying people's posts about this puzzle recently. It doesn't look easy. In fact, a couple of people have kind of abandoned it because they just were having too hard of a time with it. But obviously, this is a puzzle that is intended as a challenge. And I have just really thought it looks beautiful. And even though it looks quite dark, I mean, the way that the colors are sort of segmented if you can sort of see the lines here between the colors, I think it's not going to be impossible, just a little bit more time consuming than the average gradient puzzle. So looking forward to doing this one. This one is probably going to be one that I put aside for a little bit, and maybe I'll do it towards the end of the year or over the summer if I have a little bit of extra time on my hands, but really excited to have this one joining the collection. So next up are these 3 mini puzzles by Dowdle. So Dowdle as a company, I have enjoyed their puzzles in the past, but oftentimes their full-size puzzles have very large boxes that are just a little bit difficult for me to store. So I have a few of them to do on my stack, but I'm trying not to accumulate many of the full-size ones. However, on Puzzle Day, or right around Puzzle Day, they had a sale on these little ones. These are called personal puzzles, and they are 210 pieces, and they're designed to be done basically in one sitting. So to be done in a little under an hour, most likely, if you are kind of an average puzzler. So this one is of Charleston because I'm actually going to Charleston this weekend for a few days with my partner Rick. So I picked this one up so that I could do this one in conjunction with that trip. I also got this one, which is called Halloween Cajun Style, and this one features an image of New Orleans that is kind of decked out in Halloween style. And also, because I live here in New York City, I got this really cool one of the New York skyline from the perspective of Central Park. So really looking forward to trying these ones out. I love how small they are. I love this 210 piece size. You know, I think a lot of puzzlers, they're really focused on the 1,000 piece and 500 piece puzzles. I also love those, and it's probably the bulk of what I do. However, I really like to pepper in a lot of medium and smaller size puzzles along the way because it's a really nice break. As I often mention, if I don't have a lot of puzzle time, I love to sit down sort of late at night while I'm watching a TV show and put together a puzzle while I'm sort of half watching whatever's on TV. So these I think are going to be perfect for doing exactly that. So next up is this puzzle called The Flapper, and this is also from Victory Puzzles, which I mentioned a little bit earlier in this video because I did their puzzle La Chablisienne a little bit earlier this week, and I had some minor quality control issues with it, so I'm going to be doing this one soon to see if I experience the same thing with this puzzle as well. However, I really do like the image, and they were having a great sale because they're changing over their puzzle manufacturer. So this one was like around $35, which for a wooden puzzle is a pretty great price. And I really like this image, which is a 1922 Life magazine cover. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to trying this one out. Even though I had some quality issues with the other one, still looking forward to doing this one, though I do hope that I don't have the same problem with this puzzle. I will report back to you, so if you're curious to know, if you follow me over on Instagram at piecebypiecepuzzler, I will post an update once I do this one. So last but not least, another reason why I have been buying a few extra puzzles is because of, as I mentioned, the Puzzle Day sales that have been going on recently. So also on Puzzle Day, I had noticed that there was a puzzle that came out from the brand Gallison, which is a really nice puzzle company, and it's called By the Koi Pond. And this is the image. It's really beautiful. This is a 1,000-piece puzzle, so it doesn't look like it's going to be super easy, but I do love all the different colored fish and the different lotus flowers and the lily pads, and there are some butterflies in here and a dragonfly as well. So I just really enjoyed the overall visual of this puzzle. This one came out around Puzzle Day, but I actually ordered it a little afterwards. As part of my Puzzle Warehouse ambassadorship, I get some gift cards for writing blog posts, and so I used part of one of my gift cards on this beautiful puzzle. And I really want to do this one sometime during the springtime because I think the colors are just perfect for that time of year. And last but not least is this amazing 2,000-piece puzzle. And this one is called Universal and Amblin. And this one is obviously 2,000 pieces, as I said. And this one came to my attention because I saw it online, and shortly thereafter, I saw that the YouTuber Vicky Makes and Builds, whose videos I really love, did this puzzle when she hit 2,000 subscribers. I think that was the occasion she used to do this puzzle. So it features 5 different movies. It has, is it 5? So Jaws, Jurassic Park, E.T., and Back to the Future. So 4 films. Three of them were directed by Steven Spielberg, and the Back to the Future was not. But they were all done by Amblin and Universal, so that's what ties them all together. And it sort of spans between the 70s and the 90s, so it's a very sort of nostalgic movie puzzle as well. So really looking forward to doing this one. Because it's 2,000 pieces, it's probably going to take me a little bit longer than most of the puzzles I do, and it's going to take up a little bit more space. So it's probably one that's going to be in my collection for a little while before I have a chance to do it. But because this one was on Puzzle Warehouse, I wanted to take the opportunity once I had the gift card to add this one to my collection, because I wanted to make sure I got this one before it went out of stock. So really, really excited to be adding this one to my collection. This is the last one that I'm showing you for today, and I'm really glad that you came along for the 5th episode of The Week in Pieces. So as I always say, thank you so much for supporting this channel. I have been adding a lot of subscribers lately. I'm so grateful for all of your comments, for letting me know the puzzles you've been doing, puzzle brands that I should look out for myself, and just for generally supporting my channel and also my Instagram at piecebypiecepuzzler. So if you enjoyed any of these puzzles and there are ones that you would like to do, leave me a comment. Or also, if there's another puzzle that you're doing that you enjoy that you'd like to recommend to me, also pop that down in the comments below. And also, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel and click the bell so that you're notified of all of the new videos that I'm posting. I mentioned in my last Week in Pieces video that I was probably going to be taking a few weeks off, so this one's coming a little bit sooner than I had originally anticipated. But there is a surprise that I had sort of mentioned in the Week in Pieces episode 4 that has yet to be revealed, and that's going to be revealed very, very soon. So part of my impetus for making this video was so that I could clear off a lot of the puzzles that were on my foam core boards so I could start that new project. And if you click the bell, you'll get a notification when that happens so you can keep up to date with my videos as I mentioned. So again, thanks so much for hanging on till the end of this video. I know it's been a long one, but I have really enjoyed showing you the puzzles that I did and all these new puzzles that I've been bringing into my collection. So until the next time, I wish you all happy puzzling.
Piece by piece, piece by piece puzzler.